guys, Aubrey here. I am so excited to finally be back with you guys. I know I kind of went MIA and I'm sorry about that. We were like out of town for 2 weeks and then I got back and you guys, I was just not feeling it. I didn't want to cook for like a week. Do you ever go through like a cooking ditch? I don't know. I get in moments where I'm just like, I can't think of anything to make and everything seems too difficult. Which is ridiculous because like I know I can make food, but I was just not feeling it at all. But I've got my mojo back. I'm about to make a bunch of muffins today. Muffins are an excellent thing to just make a million of at once because they freeze super well. You can pull them out for a snack. You can take them to the park. By the time you've got there, they've thawed out. Pull them out the night before, eat them for breakfast. They're just phenomenal to have. I also recently made a new recipe for bread and I doubled it, which actually meant that I made 6 loaves because one recipe made 3 loaves, which I didn't recognize until I was already in too deep. So I made 6 loaves of bread, but that's okay because we ate it all. So yeah, I just am excited to be back talking to you guys, just living our best healthy life that the Lord has for us. And so yeah, I'll just take you around today and we'll see what all we come up with. Oh my babies, we got granola everywhere. Yeah, we're just gonna sweep it right on out. No big deal. They said let's eat it. No, give me that. No more. Got some guacamole making, huh? Also a baby cut my beloved recipe cards. And some of these, this is the only place I have the recipe. So I've been trying to get a digital copy of them forever. I really need to prioritize that and maybe make like a printable, cute way to print them out. But this has motivated me to do something about all my recipes.
Look on your YouTube channel. It probably has some way to make a sourdough waffle.
Yeah, so they ruined my sourdough waffle one too. I said, I don't know if I know it fully. They were like, just look at your videos. I bought this bag yesterday morning at Kroger, but we have eaten all of our plums. While I was at Kroger, I did find some phenomenal deals. I got 4 gallons of organic whole milk for only $2. I was super excited. Well, $2 each, but still. They're usually like $5 or $6 a gallon. I can look at the actual sticker for the exact price, but I was super stoked. I've been finding them at this certain Kroger that I've been going to like very consistently. So I always buy as many has a sticker unless it's like unreasonable, like 10. I don't have place for 10 gallons of milk. But this time like I bought 4. I think last time I bought 3 or 4 also. And I just freeze them and I thaw them out and I use them to make yogurt. And it's wonderful because I can make a gallon of yogurt for $2, which is amazing. All right, so for these muffins, it is super simple and so delicious. So I just put all of those dry ingredients here in the bowl. You can definitely like screenshot this real fast because you're gonna wanna make these, I promise. Then over here, I'm adding my 2 eggs and I need 6 bananas. Let's see what I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. I do like them pretty ripe, just like this. And if you know me well, then you will know what am I gonna do. Comment down below, what am I gonna do with these bananas that is a little out of the norm? I'm gonna put them in the blender with the peel on. I do buy organic bananas for this purpose because the peel does have a lot of extra nutrients. It also has a lot of fiber. You're also paying for it because you pay for bananas in weight. And so you're obviously paying for it. So we do not eat it on, we don't just peel this and eat it off. But when I can use it, then I do. So I do still have some scraps you can see, but much less than you would normally have. So I love it that we're getting a lot of free nutrition. What you would usually throw in the trash, I'm all about stuff like that. That's why I like to use, bones to make bone broth and scraps to make veggie broth and things like that. So use what you have and use it to its fullest. Looky there, that's what it looks like. So it is maybe slightly darker than just pureed banana, but not too shabby. I do like to add the rest of those ingredients, the melted coconut oil, maple syrup, coconut sugar, and vanilla right on in the blender. I'm going to give it one more blend and then pour the liquid ingredients into the dry ingredients. All right, so here we go. That's what it looks like, all mixed up, completely optional, but like, why would you not add chocolate chips? I'm definitely going to be adding in some chocolate chips here, and then I'll also be adding in some crunched up walnuts to make some banana nut muffins. Of course, she wants to help. She's going to break some walnuts for me, yeah? Helper number 2. Is it hard to stir?
Yes.
And in our house, helpers always get to lick the spoon. Seriously, one of my biggest time-saving hacks is to get some of these paper liners. I did find some that were like unbleached, and they're coated kind of in wax paper, so they are absolutely phenomenal. It makes the cleanup of making muffins like 100 times easier. Alrighty, they're gonna go in the oven at, I believe, 375 for about 20 to 22 minutes. Okay, so it's the baby's nap time. Guillermo's upstairs laying them down. I'm gonna try to work through some of this clearance stuff that I got at Kroger. I'm gonna start with making some homemade yogurt. All right, thankfully I have gotten the hang of this, and I have been making homemade yogurt pretty consistently. I have an entire video about how to do this. It's very easy. This actually takes a while to heat up. I need it to heat up to like 180 degrees. So while that is heating up, I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna actually ferment cabbage and one of the heads of cauliflower. I'm gonna start with my cabbage. So I saved 2 of the cabbage leaves and washed them or rinsed them because I don't have any weights or anything. I don't have anything fancy when it comes to fermenting equipment. So I'm just using regular mason jars, regular lids. And so I actually use the cabbage leaf to weigh it down to make sure everything is under the brine so that it ferments instead of molts. That is definitely key. So yeah, I'm just going to slice this as thinly as possible. I've done it. I've made sauerkraut using the food processor before. I've also just chopped it. I don't really know which one I like better. I kind of like both of them. So today I'm just going to chop it. Okay, so I've got all of my cabbage in my bowl, and now I'm going to be adding my salt. It's going to be going into a quart size jar, which is 4 cups. So for this here, I'm going to actually add 2 tablespoons of salt. I'm using like pink salt. You definitely don't want to use like iodized salt. You don't want to use a salt that would have any form of anti-caking agent or anything in it. The salt is great because it obviously preserves the food, also gives it flavor, and it helps the whatever you're fermenting to maintain its like vitamin content. So I'm gonna let this sit here for like 10 minutes while I chop the cauliflower, and then I'll come back and kind of massage it with my hands, and then I'm going to smash it into my jar. So you can see here a little bit of browning, which was, I'm sure, why it was in the clearance, but I got this huge head of the Simple Truth organic cauliflower for only 99 cents. So I think I'm definitely going to still get my money's worth. I'm going to chop off those little brown pieces and then chop it up into kind of small florlets to ferment. Okay, so I have all of my veggies and salt in a bowl. I'm going to come on over and check my milk temperature. It's rising quite well. Let's see if we get, it always fogs up. All right, it's at 180. So I just am going to turn the saute function off and let it cool down. So one day I probably will want to invest into what's called like a wide mouth funnel. It's much easier in wide mouth jars. I need to get some wide mouth lids too, because metal lids just rust when you ferment because you're using salt. So I don't know. For those 2 reasons, I'm using a regular smaller mouthed mason jar, which does make it a little more challenging. And then also you want to pack it down. I just use the tamper from my Vitamix, and I just shove it down as I keep adding, and I'm just going to keep shoving until I get as much of it as I can in there. All right, so that is as much cauliflower as I put in there. I'm going to be adding in some filtered water, and then I'm going to put my cabbage leaf on top. And because I did not dissolve salt in water first, I do it kind of the opposite way. I am going to give it a good shake real fast before I add my cabbage leaf on top. If you are new to this, know that I still second guess myself because I have been doing it, but not as consistently as I would like. So I have made sauerkraut several times. And then I ferment green beans pretty often. I do know you need to leave like head space, so I'm going to open it and push it all down as best I can. But so far I haven't really ruined much, so I encourage you to go for it. Just try it out. All right, so I've got my yogurt making now. I had also found these Manager Special for 99 cents, the grape tomatoes. Some of them were a little wrinkly. So I actually had a little bit of leftover cauliflower that did not fit in my jar. So I'm going to end up roasting these together because I feel like once they're roasted, they get wrinkly anyways. And then what I did was, this is all the meat that I got Manager Special. And like, look here, like $17.89 is the original price. And I got it for $6.17. $17.27, got it for $5.95. $12.23, got it for $4.22, so on and so forth. This one's about half the price there. So I took about 5 minutes, sat down on my computer. I came up, I had 2 shoulder roasts, so I'm going to do beef carnitas. I've got a chuck roast, so I can do like carrot and potato, your traditional roast. Some round tip, I found a recipe to do like onions and mushrooms in maybe like a Dutch oven, and then make fajitas with the bottom round steak and some honey garlic pork chops. So now what I'm going to do is get some freezer safe bags, and I'm going to process all this and get it in the freezer. It's absolutely crazy. Like, I walked into Kroger and there was just tons of that Manager Special stuff. I found those gallons of milk for only $2. They're organic and they're whole milk. Like, they're exactly what I would buy, but instead of spending $5.50, I got to spend $2. And then as I got there, the meat lady was like literally just then putting out all of the clearance meat. And so I don't know, it's just one of those things that is so cool, because the Bible says that God literally will take care of us. Like, it says, like, don't worry what you're going to eat or drink. Like, he will provide for your needs. And these are just really simple ways that I see the Lord do that in the life of me and my family. I have friends that joke all the time. Like, they're saying, like, literally, you always find the best deals. Like, how do you do that? I'm like, I don't mean to. I just really see that it's the hand of God just looking after my family. And it's just pretty awesome because, I definitely, like, God is providing for our needs. At the same time, I think I would have probably bought all of that food even if there wasn't inflation, even if there wasn't talk of food shortages. But in the midst of what we're going through right now and the way the world is looking, I think it's even more so. Also in scripture, it talks about how there were these sons of Issachar. This is in the Old Testament in Chronicles, and it talks about how they knew the times and they knew what Israel should do. And so I think as believers, like, I also want to be wise and prepare. We see that with Joseph in the Bible as well, that he knew that there were going to be 7 years of famine, so he prepared in the 7 years of plenty, and he stocked things up. So I'm definitely not a hoarder. I'm not someone who could probably live for years off my pantry, but I'm at least trying to be more mindful, not to really get super low in anything, not because I absolutely believe like the end is coming and there's about to be no food on the shelves. I'm just saying, if I can prepare, then I want to do that in case something bad happens, in case things are not as accessible at the grocery store. So I think it's both like, yes, God, I trust that God will provide for my needs. And sometimes he does that by teaching us to prepare for the future. All right. So one good thing about using like food saver bags is that if you were to just place this straight in your freezer, it would freeze and it would probably be okay for about a month, but it will start to get like frostbite and stuff on the meat. And so one way to just keep it longer in the freezer is to either use, food saver bags. If you don't have that, you could use like a freezer Ziploc bag, and I like to put a straw in the side of the zipper bag, zip it all the way up, and then I suck as much air as I can out, and then I close it very quickly. This food saver was given to me by a friend, which is the only reason I own one, because I do know they are a little bit pricey, but you definitely want to try to remove as much of the air as possible, and you want to try to avoid freezing meat straight from the package like this, because it just doesn't really keep very long.
Don't you know there's part of me that longs
What are you trying to get, Micah? Oh, okay. He said, I want Nana. And I said, okay. He said, I want PB Butter. Then he went and got it himself. Micah, did you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. All right, we're going to make this banana stuffing and get the meat in the freezer, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, you guys, that is definitely a wrap for today. I got almost everything done on my list that I wanted to get done. I did not get to the bread making. I did not get to the granola, but I can definitely do that tomorrow. So thank you for spending the day with me. I hope you got some great ideas of how you can just like stock up on healthy foods, how you can just like do what you can for your family in what many are calling uncertain times, without living in fear, without worrying and living in any form of anxiety, just recognizing like I can do a lot for me and my family, and I'm gonna do what I can. So anyways, you guys have a very blessed day, and I'll see y'all next time.